Mr. President, I remembered that at Christmas I was busy focusing and being very concerned about Côte d'Ivoire, a country that I'm still concerned is in a degree of turmoil and where we still do not have a resolution satisfactorily giving the President Ouattara control of his country. We were also looking at Belarus and our concerns about the credibility of the elections and subsequently the pressure that we've put on, the difficult meetings that we've had with their Foreign Minister Martynov, and the work we're continuing to do to keep the pressure on while making sure that we're engaging with the people of Belarus. Since then, we've of course also been engaged with the Middle East peace process. I've been twice to visit Israel to meet with the Palestinian Authority. I've chaired the quartet meetings in Munich. We've had the envoys meeting here, and for the very first time, the envoys under the chairmanship of Helga Schmidt, our political director, have met with the negotiators from both sides. I've twice chaired the nuclear talks with Iran, spending in each case 2 days discussing, trying to make progress on proposals that we have set forward to persuade Iran to turn away from the path of nuclear weapons, to recognise that it could be a civil nuclear power, and to engage with them in that process. Much time, a great deal of engagement, but I have to tell you at this point, while our proposals stay on the table and where I continue to send messages to them, we await their response. We've also been busy working on European Union-NATO relations, an important element, not least in these times. Yesterday I was talking with Secretary-General Rasmussen, and I meet with him regularly to look at how best we can engage together. And of course, another issue that is extremely important and which I've been engaged with most recently is with Moldova and Transnistria, where I'm engaging with Moscow, with Foreign Minister Lavrov, to discuss what we might be able to do to get these talks moving. And as I know many parliamentarians have followed very closely the beginnings of the Serbia-Kosovo talks. The first meeting has taken place, the second meeting will take place later this week. I'm also, of course, aware that as we think about all of these different issues, we are still building a new service. And I believe, and I think we can demonstrate, that at the heart of what we do is this idea that we're here to resolve conflict, to build peace and democracy, to support people's desire for their rights to be respected and for the freedoms they want to enjoy. It's why the Serbia-Kosovo dialogue is so important. It's why Bosnia-Herzegovina needs to move from its position of being stuck to moving forward, and why yesterday at the Foreign Affairs Council we discussed the significance of the approach that I'm proposing for the European Union. And in Albania, where Miroslav Lajcek has been engaged as my envoy to facilitate the dialogue between the Prime Minister and the opposition. And as the Chairman has said too, thinking more broadly about the Sahel and the work we need to do to support the countries of Mali, Mauritania and Niger, and more broadly into the Maghreb, to make sure that we're developing an approach that differentiates each country, but builds an overarching strategic approach to the region to help them deal with some of the security issues, the economic issues, the concerns about drug trafficking, people trafficking, the issues that affect that region every day. And further down into Africa with the Horn of Africa, not just focusing, important though it is, on piracy, but looking at how we can begin to support economically Somalia, build on African leadership, and you know that I visited the region twice last year, to ensure that we have an overarching view of what Europe can do in support of that region. I often say that the European Union is there for the long term, that our job is to build deep democracy, to support countries in transition and change, to develop effectively their civil society, their politics, their economics, so they have long-term democratic institutions, long-term economic prospects. And we need a service that can achieve that. Security and development working together, building trust and building institutions. Deep democracy built brick by brick. It's not necessarily glamorous, but it's absolutely essential.